Well, good evening and welcome to tonight's episode of Bronco Nation Live. We are so stoked to have all of you here. I already see a bunch of you in the chat, but welcome and thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Jordan Parker, joined by three of my favorite Bronco Nation colleagues, Matt, London, and Laura. Today, unfortunately, we are not together. We are spread out around the country. I'm out here in Utah, Matt in Alabama, London in Florida, and Laura in good old Michigan. Thank you guys so much for joining us and taking the time out of your busy week to spend a few minutes with us, talk about a lot of things. And with that said, we got a lot of things to talk about. We got to talk about brand new Bronco Nation website, Rebel Rally, merchandise, London's experience with the Bronco, SEMA, Bronco recalls, women's off rodeo, Raptor sales, industry news, and anything else you guys want to talk about. I will make a disclaimer as we get started. I am having Wi-Fi issues, so I got 1980s Wi-Fi going on here, so if I look a little glitchy and slow, we know. The rest of my colleagues look fantastic, but for me, I'm in like 24 frames per minute. But yeah, we're going to get rock and roll, and thank you all again so much for joining us. Thank you to Dirk, Technical Disasters, Tim Kiley, Ragnar Khan, All Terrain Nation, Radar, Bronco Badlands, John Love. We see you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. My dog's Bronco, Zachary. As always, if you have any questions about anything we talk about, leave them in the chat, and we'll be sure to answer them to the best of our abilities. But with that said, let's get going. First of all, team, how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm good.
Great.
Doing good.
Can't complain.
Fantastic. Thank you so
How are
much.
you, Jordan?
Great, never better. Just wish my Wi-Fi was better. But let's get rocking and rolling. Matt, we're going to start with you. You've been giving us industry news, production numbers and stuff over the past few live streams. So why don't we just get right into it? What is the latest on Bronco productions and recalls, all that other fun stuff?
Yeah, let's jump right in. So we covered our production numbers earlier this month on our live stream, so I don't want to go over all that again. I think as far as production, we can say that more Broncos are being produced than we've ever produced before. We're seeing more being built, more being sold, and actually handed over to customers. But we did wrap up the third quarter sales. So I think it's interesting. We'll take a look at where Bronco is sort of in the market segment, how it compares to other vehicles in the same sort of category there. So I think something interesting that we found is from Kelley Blue Book, 275 models of cars are currently on sale in the U.S. Only 11% of those vehicles account for nearly half of all the new car sales. And for the first time, we're actually seeing the Bronco in the top 30 in that 11%. So Bronco's climbed its way up. It's one of the highest sold vehicles. I think it's number 22 on the list of vehicles that are actually being sold in the third quarter of this year. So first time we're seeing it in that upper grouping of vehicles by quarter. So a lot of Broncos are being sold. A lot of Broncos are being given to customers. And the number one vehicle on that list, I think it's been this way for a while, is the Ford F-Series truck at almost 168,000 units for the third quarter, which is crazy. It's a lot. And the Bronco at number 22 was at about 31 to 32,000 units. So a lot of Broncos being produced and again sold to customers. But looking at the actual market segment, Bronco has climbed its way up. It's now in the according to Muscle Cars and Trucks, for the medium traditional SUV segment, it makes up over 25% of the market share. And then for the midsize off-road SUV segment, according to Ford Authority, it's 30% of the market share. So the other big players there are Jeep Wrangler and the 4Runner. Jeep Wrangler, for the third quarter, we're looking at 48,000 units sold. That's a 45% market share. Bronco is at 30% market share, climbing its way up. It's up 750% from last year, which doesn't even, I don't even think that's fair to look at that number. And then 4Runner is in third place there at 25% market share. And both Jeep and 4Runner are down about 11% compared to the previous year. So, does that have to do with Bronco? It's possible. It's possible that some of the people in that midsize SUV segment are sort of being converted to Bronco owners. And I think this is something that Ford actually reported on which is pretty interesting. They said that 71% of the current customer base for Bronco comes from outside of having a Ford vehicle. So most of the people that are buying Broncos,
it's me.
Conquest customers.
That's Laura. Laura came from the Jeep life.
I did.
Me.
Yeah, that's Jordan now.
I'm a Conquest customer.
Well, no, I guess you've got a Bronco in order. You're still waiting on.
I know, but I didn't own one, but I didn't own a Ford before this, so I'm a Conquest customer.
Yeah, that's true. And 65% for Bronco Sport too. So even the same thing there.
That's not surprising.
Outside of Ford. Yeah. So I think it's cool. I think it's a different vehicle. You know, we haven't seen anything sort of comparable to it recently that's new.
Yeah, I was in LA until this morning. Oh, go ahead, Laura.
I was to say, the other day, in my main street, there was more Broncos on the street than there were Jeeps. It was a turning point. A catalyst.
To be fair, you're also in Michigan, so it's a little bit skewed there. But before we move any further, I want to say a huge thank you to Mitch from Town and Country TV, not only for the super chat, but he said, thank you for being the best Bronco organization on the planet. You are too kind. But I want to, hold on. Well, so Mitch, backstory. So I have a good friend, Will. He helped us. He's helped us twice now. He helped us with the towing video back last year. Yeah, and then he helped us with Iceland as well. And Will was a classic case of day one, hour one reservation holder who took years to get his Bronco. And he got the opportunity to switch to a Raptor. Well, his initial dealer kind of screwed him over. And so we were able to get him switched to Town and Country with Mitch. And they took phenomenal care of him. And Will actually just took delivery of his Bronco Raptor a few days ago. So massive thank you to Mitch and his team. Will is over the moon. Thank you, first of all, because I get to stop hearing about when's my Bronco coming. And then second of all, he's just super stoked to have it. So Mitch, you guys are a class act and appreciate all your support over the years and your continued support. It's been a while since I've seen you. Need to see you again soon. Also want to thank All-Terrain Nation. Thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. He said, I'm not 6'3", but here for some change. Yeah, Mitch Watts is 6'3" and lets everybody know in his videos. And then John Love, too, really appreciate it. He said, wait for me. I have little legs. It's all about height tonight, apparently. But as you were saying, Matt, Bronco production continues to ramp up. I think a lot of people are getting production dates if they don't have one. I finally got my Bronco Raptor production date, which is phenomenal. Should be here next month, which is very exciting. But yeah, Matt, what about recalls? That's everyone's favorite word. A few of those have been floating around this week.
There's a couple recalls. Before we get to that, I think one thing that I do want to touch on from Ford is end of Q3, they also reported on vehicles they have in inventory, which I thought was interesting. They had between 40 and 45,000 vehicles in inventory awaiting parts that are in short supply. So a lot of that is, they said, high margin trucks and SUVs. So definitely some of those higher trim level Broncos falling into that category. But, that's still something we continue to see, is those lots full of trucks and full of Broncos that people are waiting on. But like you said, more than ever, we're seeing some of those part shortages being resolved and Broncos being given to customers. But with inflation too, there's a lot of those supplier costs that are increasing. Ford noted almost $1 billion higher cost than expected due to inflation-related supplier costs. So, I don't know if we'll... Yeah, I know that's a little bit of a price or a cost increase there. But I think we'll see what that looks like as far as how that affects vehicle pricing in the future. I think that's something that we'll probably pay attention to over the next year, going into future model years. So I thought that was interesting.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
David Reed asked, so how long from production to dealer? So Mitch, if you're still here, you may have an answer on that. I think it's been ranging from 2 to 3 to 4 weeks, depending on where in the country you are. Anecdotally, I don't know, Mitch, if you know how long from production to delivery Will's Bronco Raptor took, but it's usually between 2 to 4 weeks, depending on if you're East Coast, West Coast, close to Michigan, stuff like that. But yeah, you guys are very active in the chat. Love it. Keep them coming. Anything else on that, Matt? No,
as far as production and cost there goes, that's all I've got for now. But we do have some recalls that we want to cover. I do want to say that Will brought his Bronco Raptor over right before this live stream, and I got to check it out. And that was the first customer one I've seen. I was pretty excited about that. And it's sweet. It's awesome.
What color did he
Mitch,
get?
I know you're watching. Cactus gray. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I had one in LA over the weekend. I forgot how much fun it was to drive. It honestly feels like a different
Rub it
vehicle
in.
than a regular Bronco.
I sat in
how much
an
fun?
park.
Yeah, I forget how fun they are to drive too.
It's a beast.
Not
I
that
just
I've
wish it
known.
didn't sound like a straight pipe Elantra. That'd make life a little easier, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Anything else from you?
Yeah, let's jump into some recalls. We love
Perfect.
recalls.
Recall it up. Recall Wednesday.
Yeah, there's nothing crazy as far as recalls go. There's really two that we've seen recently. One of those being for model year 21 Broncos. This comes from CarBuzz. But there's a recall that went out for the front drive shaft boot and that cracking under normal driving conditions. So they said, it's nothing that you can do. It's probably going to crack. And when your drive shaft boot cracks and you let in all sorts of like dirt and dust and debris, and that's probably not good for the drive shaft. So that only affects Broncos that were built between September 23rd, 2020 and September 17th of the following year. So that's pretty early on. Yeah.
That's
only.
a year.
It's everybody's.
September 2020, I don't know how many Broncos were being built. That was
it was
over 2 years
pre-production.
ago.
That's
Yeah.
eons ago. Jeez.
Yeah.
So,
So
as far
really
as
it's
how
only
many customers,
Yeah.
That's probably
so
not
I think our
for my
red one.
Bronco.
So our red one's probably affected.
probably
I don't know.
not.
I mean, like mine was
That
August 21, I think.
we got the red
Don't
one.
quote me. And it's fine.
the red one was built in February of 21, but it's got a lot more issues than a cracked drive shaft boot.
Oh
I think
yeah.
it's got a lot of issues.
We'll have a separate segment on that.
Yeah. Talk about that. 50,000
but-
mile review.
Yeah. So Ford will replace, if your Bronco was built during that period, obviously they'll replace the boot for free for the next year.
Nice.
So October 12th,
Okay.
2023 is the deadline for that. So if you do want to get that done and you fall into that category, then go ahead and do that now. There's no telling how long it would actually take to get into the dealer and get a time and then the actual time to get that done. Yeah, so if you are there, you might want to go and schedule that.
And if you don't know you're there, you can ask the Bronco support team. You can use the online chat or their phone number, and they're looking it up for people. Some people have gotten letters already, but I also read that a bulk of them are going to come later. So you can always be preemptive and check.
Yep.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt to check. Of course, if your vehicle is affected, make sure you go and get that taken care of as soon as possible. Bronco 78 asks, do we know when the last week for 22 model year builds is? Laura, any info on that?
I don't know the exact week, but
Okay. I know sport transitions over like for end of November, 1st of December, right in that time period.
Yeah.
But we can ask for an answer and see if we can get you one on that Bronco 78. Tim also asked, has there been any word on improvements regarding shipping lead times? I don't think so. I feel like more people are getting theirs quicker, but that could just be anecdotal. The news seems to change every day with rail strikes and all that other stuff, but people seem to be getting them fairly quickly. I know a few people whose estimated deliveries were pushed a week or two, but again, that could be anecdotal and very much, based on a region. Also want to thank Technical Disasters. He gave us a super chat, and this one's for you, London. He said, this is a down payment for the pink sweatshirt. So I'll let you take that as you. Take that as you may.
Thank you.
But Jennifer actually said, and this is a perfect segue, she said BMW to Bronco, which leads us to a phenomenal next topic, which London finally got some good time behind the wheel of a Bronco, our Iceland Bronco that we re-imported from Iceland to the U.S. London now has that for a few weeks down in Florida. So London, How has that been, and what has it like been going from a BMW to a Bronco?
Yes, it has been super exciting. Aside from this trip, I had pretty much only been driving the Broncos like around town when we were on events.
Yeah.
So I drove it from Atlanta to Santa Rosa Beach, which was about 5.5, 6 hours. And I was talking to Jordan the other day, and the biggest thing that surprised me so far was gas. Number one, the price, and number one, like the mileage that I got. I drive a BMW 3 Series, so typically I'd fill up one time in Atlanta, drive it all the way to the beach, and be good. And I expected to have to fill up more with the Bronco and that it would be more expensive, but it was actually almost exactly the same. So I was super
There you
impressed
go.
by that. It got me the whole way there. Um, and drove really well. The seats heated up super fast. I
They're
got a little
very
bit cold,
toasty.
so that yeah, they get hot super fast and super super hot. And then it's also been nice at the drive-through. I'm a lot closer to be able to reach inside and get my order. Um,
Hey, these are
but
very
yeah,
practical, everyday use cases.
Yeah,
oh
how do you
yeah,
like
absolutely.
being taller than a good amount of traffic than you used to be in the
It's been
Bronco?
really nice. Yeah, I've loved sitting up. One thing that's definitely been an adjustment is just having to push the gas so much harder to like accelerate
Yeah.
and the brake harder to stop. I learned the first day, like, I'm gonna have to really push the brakes to stop the momentum of, that car. It's so much more than like my little one. But yeah, it's been super nice sitting up. And we have the Heretic lights and everything on that Bronco. So I was actually driving to one of my friend's house and they live down like a very long, dark road. So I flipped on all of the light switches. And I mean, it was like it was the middle of the day. So that was crazy.
I
Really
was I
cool.
was hoping you weren't going to say you were using them in traffic.
I was not.
Yeah. Just fully comes out. So I committed a bunch of traffic violations.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome.
No
So
police
London
officers
doesn't
watching.
have a ton of off-road experience, so the Bronco world is new for her. So it's really cool to see. What's some things that are surprised, like pleasantly surprised you, and maybe a feature that you wish it had?
I would say I was pleasantly surprised by the way it drove on the highway. It was just
Hmm.
a little bit smoother than I had expected. It was a little bit loud with the roof rack, but it
Yeah.
wasn't terrible. And then this Bronco does not have the B&O sound system in it. So if I was gonna, select every feature that I wanted, I would definitely put
Hmm.
that in there. Just since I love listening to music and all of that in the car.
And that one also doesn't have a headliner. It doesn't have a sound deadening headliner. That was pre-headliner. Well,
Mm-mm.
no, that one actually
It has
came with a soft top.
MGV. Yeah.
Yeah, and we swapped it, and it doesn't have so that's what it is. Well,
Yeah,
awesome.
the,
Yeah.
the
Any other?
headliner makes a big difference.
It
I'll
does.
say
It
that.
does. And I will say, people asked, and it was a great question. They asked for sound kind of decibel readings in the Bronco Raptor, and it feels a lot quieter on the highway than the regular Bronco does. I don't know, again, if that was
Hmm.
anecdotal, but people were replying to in the DMs on Instagram and saying like, mine's 678 decibels louder than this on the highway. So take take that as you will, but good things to note. Anything else from you, London, on that?
I think that is all. It's been very different, different driving experience, but it's been really
Yeah,
cool to just be behind the wheel and, really get a feel for all of the features and everything.
yeah. So next, possibly the biggest announcement of the week for those of you who frequent bronconation.com, thebronconation.com, frequently may have noticed some big changes. We recently launched a brand new website, complete overhaul of our old platform, moved to a new site to hopefully improve it. And I'm sure, as you all are well aware, there's been some growing pains with that. So we really appreciate your patience and feedback. But Laura has kind of been, well, she's in the forums and on the site every single day, so she's the closest to this, and she's going to walk you through some of the new improvements, and kind of let you know why the site is better and what you can expect from the site going forward. So, Laura, what do you got for us?
Sure. So, we showed this video last week, but just to give you an
Hmm.
idea of um, some of the changes on the site. So we went to a mobile first website. So you'll see that some of the picture orientation has changed and things like that. So a lot of it is the same. We just have probably the most changes in the forums. We've been doing rolling updates for the website, and we had planned this from the beginning, and I know it's hard to be patient while we're still making improvements in large chunks. But some of you guys have adjusted just fine to the website. Some of you, you're still working through it. I've heard requests to go back to the old site. I've heard the frustration and thinly veiled panic in some of your messages and phone calls, but don't worry, we're in control. We have a full schedule of improvements that we're doing. We've been working on rolling them out. We've been doing the batch changes so that way the site stays stable, and we're trying to hit some of obviously the biggest things first, which are stability and speed, and we're doing much better on that, and it's only going to continue to improve. And even some of our new features will be coming later this week or early next week, depending. One thing is a members only section in the forums that many of you guys have asked for. So that'll be coming soon. Also have big plans for the member map. As you guys know, Ford Pass Performance is just not launching yet. They said it was going to be multiple times over, but it's Matt, the brand manager, had told us on a previous live stream that it was not coming in. What year are we? 22. So it's not going to be here this year. So we have the capability to do more with our member map now. We've got big plans for our achievement system, our trophy system. So you can watch for those coming up soon. And then just in the meantime, while you guys are waiting for some of these improvements to roll out and you're trying to find your way around the site, I want to make sure that you guys are aware of the What's New tab. So if you go on desktop, it's right next to forums in the navigation. If you're on mobile, it's right below it. Just click that button and it will give you all of the forum posts in latest post order. So you're not having to go into every forum individually, read it, click out, go back in. So just check out that What's New tab. That will help a lot of you feel like it's the old experience, because that was on the old experience. It's just on a different place. And then also with this whole slew of updates that we have coming next week, we put dark mode into development. So all you guys someone said they're reading Bronco Nation on a 42-inch monitor at work. I don't know if they're being facetious or they really were, but they're trying to, fly under the radar with their boss. So hopefully you can browse beyond a little bit more inconspicuously. And then also, dark mode was a request. Keep giving us your requests. There were 40 of you out of 30,000 who used the watch threads feature. So we weren't bringing that over in one of the first launches, but you 40 wanted it back. You wanted it quickly. So
you were probably
doing it. Yeah, most of you. It is most of our closest people in the
and we love you. We love you all
forums.
immensely.
Yeah, no, but
we've
just
had
saying,
a few people. I'm gonna cut in here and say we've had a few people ask about the mobile app too.
Sure.
We
Technical
are not
disaster
supporting
said
that.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna say we're not supporting the mobile app anymore. I think that's something important that we need to say is if you do want to access the site on your phone, you can just go to the browser and look it up and then save that to your homepage. We're hearing you out on that. Some people are like, why isn't the app working? And that's why. So it's no longer available for download. If you have it, you can just go ahead and delete it. and maybe eventually we'll come out with a new one.
Maybe technical disaster
but
said
the
London.
mobile
We need
site
a
works.
I survived the Bronco Nation website upgrade shirt.
Well, you haven't
That's
survived.
coming soon.
Some of you
We haven't
Some
survived.
of you have not survived it yet.
Still in
but
the midst
we're
of it.
here. We're gonna help you. We're continuing to make it better. I know the fear is that this is all we're gonna do. No, we have so much more coming.
No.
But I appreciate you guys being patient. I appreciate you guys calling out your requests. We have a full team in the background working on all your requests. Quite literally 24/7, 24/5, really. I mean, it's just me and Matt on the weekends. But stick with us and you're gonna really enjoy some of the new features that are coming.
Radar 3D said, "Poor Laura and the flame spray of complaints." True. And then Mike Max said, "When are those awesome flannels coming out? It is your lucky day because those are out. Not only are they out, but they're also almost sold out. So we have like single digits left. I don't know, 5 or 6 maybe in inventory. They went like that. So
I think he's only lucky if it's a small.
Oh,
yeah.
Everything
some
else.
mediums.
Small and a medium. Yeah.
Small and
but they
medium.
run
Bigger
quite
sizes
large.
snatched up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything from triple XL down to medium or large is sold out. But maybe you fit into a smaller
just said
meal.
sold
I
out.
don't know. Womp womp. Yeah, Zachary said his flannel shipped. We hope you love it, Zachary. Let's see what else we got. Chris said, "Woohoo! Dark mode rules. Looking forward to it." His mobile app is not working anymore. No. But yeah, my dog's Bronco said, "I'm glad you guys are using the data." Yes, we ultimately do this all for you guys. So as Laura said, if there's any feedback, complaints, praises, we'll take those too. If there's like, "Hey, we love this," we love hearing that. Let us know. And Nick said he got his flannel. It's so nice. They had all the sizes. Yeah, so they went quick. After the last live stream or 2 live streams ago, you guys loved them, and London worked overtime to get those to you. Technical disaster, flannel army, love it. Tim said a small. That's what I call half a shirt. Chris said, "Lose weight, you'll fit in a medium." You guys are absolutely brutal. The flannel was actually in stock. Yes, it was. Past tense. Unless briefly.
But
she was there.
It was
we
like
gave you a chance.
24
You guys
hours.
hopped right on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We let you
more.
know.
It's coming soon.
Maybe.
Holiday.
Possibly.
Maybe.
We'll get into that in a little bit. But moving on from the site, anything else, Laura, from you on site?
No.
Okay. Well, I want to give you guys a quick
If you
update.
need help.
Yeah, true. Some of you know where to find her a little too well, so don't be creepy. Want to give you guys a little update on Rebel because we talked about it last time. The Bronco Sport did win X-Cross class for the 3rd year in a row, which is phenomenal. So congrats to Melissa Fisher and Chris Benzie. Those ladies are incredible navigators and drivers and destroyed that class. So congrats to you. Bronco Sport has won 3 years in a row now. The big Broncos, they finished. Shelby and Penny finished in the top 10, and the rest of the teams were below that, but they all finished, which is great. And we hope to see them return next year for a podium finish. But that's all the updates we have on that. I touched on the Raptor a little bit that I drove, so I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to rub it in. But Laura actually does have some other updates on women's off-rodeo and off-rodeo winter weekends. Laura?
Yeah. So they just hosted the second, and it was a set this time, of ladies' days. So all women, other than, there's some men on the grounds. You have a couple trail guides and this and that. But only females driving, only females as passengers. And this one was in the Las Vegas location. And I went on the second day, and I know some of our members were there on Thursday. So we'll be following up with some quotes and an article from some of the attendees. And then I'd love to hear from the people who went on Thursday that we didn't get to connect with. But what I love about these is we were sitting around the fire at the end of the day, and we were asking, like, okay, what made you come this time? Like, what was the catalyst for going to off rodeo? And for every single lady there, it was because it was a women's only day. And
Mm-hmm.
I think that's absolutely fantastic that there's an outlet for the women who want to get involved, but are, you know, want to get involved on their terms and they want to ease into it maybe, or girls are just fun to hang out with. So they all were there because of this special day, and there was a lot to focus on during the whole adventure. And so you watch these girls and ladies, women, go through it, and everyone's a little quiet at the beginning, and everybody's a little bit kind of apprehensive what's going to go forward. And at the end of the day, it's drinking from a fire hose, but you can see the confidence levels just soar, and the enjoyment and the way they got to know their Bronco. Only two of the women there out of, I'm not sure how many people were there, but it was closer to 30 or 40 or so. Only two of them had not received their Broncos yet, so that was exciting. And if you are considering going to off rodeo, and you just don't feel like you've had that like final thing that wants to push you over the edge. That sounds awful when I'm talking about off-rodeo, off-roading. So, but no, if there's something that you think, okay, I'm just waiting for a special day, there are more special days coming for off-rodeo. Watch your emails. I think off-rodeo will be sending them out very shortly. They mentioned briefly at the Ladies' Day about some winter weekends. So watch your emails. Those will come from Off Rodeo, and
they have a lot of stuff
you
cooking.
Want to sign up for. Yeah.
Yeah, the Off Rodeo team's got a lot of stuff cooking, so we have no announcements, but
they do.
Announcements may be coming. You never know. Stay tuned. Brandon says, will there ever be an Off Rodeo in Florida? Don't think so. We have no.
What would it be? Just mud?
Yeah, Chris Burns said, I'm sure they will, but every Bronco will have to be in Everglades. It'd be a great trim specific one. All these women's events and races are making me jealous. I'm in need of a dude's day. I think that's a lot of days to off-roading. But no, again, we're not part of that planning committee or process, but you never know. What else? We'll definitely be sporting my Bronco Nation flannel and hat when I'm picking up my Bronco. Zachary, love it. Send us a picture, please. We love seeing you guys in your Bronco Nation gear. That's how last week somebody won a Bronco Nation flannel. So maybe you could be the next winner of merchandise. With that said, Matt, we're going to go to you for some crazy stuff happened over the weekend with Bronco Raptor sales. People paying absolutely ludicrous amounts for Bronco Raptors. What are those prices?
Yeah. So there's a few, we're seeing online a lot of people are getting their Raptors, and I'm sure we knew that a lot of people were probably going to flip them, just seeing the demand for the more basic Broncos, Raptor being a more limited edition is bound to demand some cash. We're seeing some auctions for Raptors. Two were sold at Mecum, one for $130,000 and one for $155,000.
And another
bring
for
a trailer,
$209,000.
209. I think I saw 170. Bring a trailer, one sold for 120. So it's crazy that the prices being, in some cases almost double MSRP. It's wild to see
insane.
that for, like a production vehicle it is limited, but long term, I think they're going to continue production of these. It's not like it's a 1 year only thing or, only a limited run. So it's wild to see that. Well, they are limited. Production for any Bronco is limited. But yeah, the money they're bringing, I mean, do you guys think it's worth that? Jordan, you've spent a lot of time with Raptors. I've only briefly.
Listen, I think the Raptor is worth every penny of $209,000, and I would be happy to hand mine over to any person willing to stroke me a check for $209,000, and I will walk my happy butt over to a dealership and buy something else. Pocket the difference. So if anyone wants a black Bronco Raptor with every single box checked, I'm your guy. You can take delivery before Christmas. I'll give you the wire information and everything.
Technical Disaster says no, it is not worth double MSRP. Some people think it is.
There's an ask for every seat. Value is in the eye of the beholder. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm sure people said about, Gen 1 Broncos 40 years ago, and look what they're selling for now. Right. Maybe I'll just hold it, and it'll be a collector's item when I'm farting dust.
Or maybe they'll be producing them like it's nothing by then. But even then, we don't know how many they're actually producing right now. I don't think Ford's put out numbers for here's the number of Raptors that have gone out. So we really don't know. Could be 100.
And they're also, as we touched on earlier, like they're commodity constrained. So my VIN is under 1,000, but there's people with VINs over 1,000 that have already been built and taken delivery. So some could be, on wheels, but waiting for interior, waiting for carbon fiber, waiting for code orange seatbelts. So there's a whole myriad of things that can shift that. So it's hard to get numbers, and Ford hasn't given any to us. So Tim wants to know, will there be any information coming out regarding international travel events a la Iceland? We have no announcements at this time. It's not a no. We just have nothing to share with you at this present moment. But it's soon. Announcements coming soon. What else? Can't wait to go to Off-Rodeo. Yes, it's phenomenal. So Off-Rodeo will be continuing through 2023. Yes, it will be, at least as far as we've heard. Can't imagine it just shut down. But so I don't think dates are released yet. But as Laura said, announcements are forthcoming, and dates are forthcoming as well. We'll let a few more questions roll in. But London merch, people have gotten very excited about merch. Somebody said, Donna said, I've been loving the new clothing items as of recent, which is all kudos to London, who's our merchandise specialist. What do you have for us on the merch front?
Yes. Well, thank you for all the great feedback we've heard from everyone.
Yes.
We are super happy that y'all are excited about the flannels, and we can't wait to see pictures of you guys wearing them. Right here is just a little overview of the website. You can shop by the categories and everything. We still have the Iceland merchandise up there, so you guys be sure to check that out if you haven't already. We recently restocked some of our staples, so we have crew necks and hoodies, all of that ready. We have all of this amazing vehicle accessories that you guys can shop, and we're super excited to tell you guys about some of our newest stuff that's coming up for Christmas. We have some fun stuff coming in, and I will say, for everybody watching who's concerned, who didn't get a flannel, we are going to have flannels again. It's not going to be the exact same flannel that you guys saw this time, but they are coming back. So if you didn't get one the first time, you can be sure and be on the lookout for that.
Yeah, London was taking us through the Christmas merchandise today, and we've never really had like a specific Christmas or winter collection before. We've had one item here, one item there, but the collection she's put together for Christmas and winter in general is phenomenal. It's nothing like we've seen in the Bronco space, and we think, at least, or hope, that you all are going to love it. It's going to be limited quantities too. We're not going to have them stocked forever, but just items that you wouldn't typically see branded with OEM type logos and stuff. So it's super cool, beautiful pieces. They all go together. We're really excited about them, and can't wait to share more details with you. But London has been working extremely hard to get you guys more merchandise. So kudos to you, London.
I already made
really
space
excited
in my closet.
I need to get on
ready.
that. I haven't yet.
Half my closet's already Bronco anyways.
The idea too with all of this upcoming stuff is that you could technically get one of each thing and wear it all together, or kind of mix and match.
There you go.
So there's a lot of different pieces coming. We're excited.
Ragnar Khan said, kind of want the Iceland hoodie, but also it's white. I'm wearing it.
Cream.
It's phenomenal.
It's not white. It's like it's off.
No, but he's saying like for
like
spilling
buttercream.
stuff. Just drink
Yeah.
clear liquids on that day.
Spray and wash is your friend.
Yeah. There's ways around it. You should get one.
Yeah.
Looking for honest feedback regarding the trail racks with the light bar. I have the most experience with it, but we've all driven it. Who wants to go first? Laura, you go first.
I think the light bar, which is obviously Heretic, but the way that it nestles into the trail rack's roof rack, it is amazing and quiet. Other brands out there have not been so quiet. And speaking of the light bar, I don't have a lot of experience with other roof rack systems, but I've been very pleased with the functionality and the aesthetic and the quietness of the one. We've got 2 now trail racks.
Yeah, they're when you see parts and accessories on our site, there's a reason that they're there. We get approached by companies each and every day wanting to put their parts and accessories on our site, and we take the time to vet and go through companies that, you know, we've seen the quality, we've seen they were made, we've talked to people who work there, and want to make sure that when we're recommending it to you all and putting it on our site to spend your money on, it's something we would put our name on. So Trail Racks, 1552, Heretic, Rome, Rockslide, and the myriad of other partners that are coming in the next couple months, they're there because we ourselves, purchase them. We pay for all our parts. We don't take any freebies, and we've used them for months on end. So the Heretic lights we've used for months, the Trail racks we used for months. All those products we personally as a team have used and spent our money on. That way we can recommend or not recommend them to you. So we've had products from other companies that we didn't care for. Not that they're bad, but we just wouldn't feel comfortable telling you all to spend your money on them because we didn't have the most great, the best experience. But back to your initial question, the Trail Racks rack, because Heretic and Trail Racks are like physically 5 minutes apart from each other here in Salt Lake, they were designed together to work together in conjunction with one another. So the wind noise is drastically reduced compared to a typical light bar or a typical roof rack. And the wind deflector you see in the front does a great job of knocking that down. So I would recommend it personally. We have it on 2 of our Bronco Nation Broncos. We took it to Iceland. The green one's been all around the country. And the blue one's now going around the country that went to Iceland as well. So we fully support your purchase of that. We do have some left on the website. So if you are looking to get one, I would recommend going ahead and purchasing it because inventory is limited these days. So check them out. Jordan, prediction. Summer 2023 will be jam-packed with even more Bronco events than summer 2022. True or false? Absolutely true. We've been working on our event calendar for 2023, and the only word to describe that is feral. It is going to be an absolute madhouse in 2023. We are simultaneously extremely ready and not ready whatsoever. But 2023 as a whole, including the summer, is going to be a phenomenal year for Bronco events. We're putting a lot of work and resources behind the scenes into ensuring that people across the country can come to Bronco events, ranging in interests. So whether you're into skiing, whether you're into mountain biking, whether you're into off-roading, whether you're into track stuff, no matter what it is, we're going to have an event for you around the country in 2023, which is something we're super excited to do because yes, there's a lot of off-roaders, but there's also a lot of hikers and climbers and people that are using their Broncos for different reasons. And we want to make sure that we can provide a space for all of you to get the most out of your vehicle. So yes, stay tuned for the 23 event calendar. We're finalizing it over the coming weeks and months. And rest assured, 2023 is going to be the best year we've had at Bronco Nation.
I want to give a plug too for the event functionality on our website. It doesn't even have to be events that we're putting on, but you have the opportunity to create your own events and invite other Bronco owners around you. So, I mean, I've done that. For those of you in the Southeast, go check out my events in the Southeast. There's a few coming up. But you can create your own meetup, trail drive, whatever it is, send out an invite to Bronco owners in a certain radius from you, and then you'll be good to go. You've got all the details there. So we want to encourage people to do that. Don't wait on us either. Create your own meetups, do your own things.
Liz
and
Jewelry
you can filter
Go ahead.
events now by region. So if you go on the events page, it's easy to find ones that are close to you.
Liz and Jewelry and Hall said, Matt, give us a prediction. When will the Bronco backlog be fulfilled?
April 23rd of next year is the day that all the Broncos are going to be caught up.
Okay, guys,
No,
write
I
it
have
down.
no idea.
Hold Matt. No, that was
Hold
your
me
prediction.
accountable.
You got to hold Matt to it. We're going to have a live
What
stream
if
on
it
April
is?
23rd of 2023, and we're going to check on that.
What if it is? Yeah.
Bronco Dude says, London, ugly Bronco Christmas sweater. We don't produce anything ugly.
Yeah. We'll have to
Sorry.
we'll have to circle back on that one.
Check out the rack that goes through Bronco Nation. Is the Bronco Nation selling them? Yes, we sell racks, lights, wheels, steps, other accessories, more stuff coming. We do have inventory of the 1552 analog HD wheels in black, which very few people have inventory of. So if that's a wheel that suits your fancy, go ahead and snag it.
And not only do
Ragnar
we
Converse
sell
quesadilla.
them, we sell them at special member pricing.
If you are a member,
forget
you get
that.
10% off of all of it, which in the majority of cases more than pays for your membership. So buy some accessories. Why not? Accessorize your Bronco. Chris said, I'm going to schedule my PTO around Bronco events. I'm glad you have an aggressive schedule. We are very glad and very scared of our event aggressive schedule. But yes, can't wait to see you there. Radar 3D said he ordered his trail racks through BN. Awesome. Thank you so much. Jason Haynes says, can we get a Bronco Nation map tour?
Member map or
maybe?
map? Michigan Assembly
He
Plant?
said MAP capital, so I'm gonna go with
We
Michigan
took
Assembly
you
Plant.
guys to MAP over the summer. I'm sorry you
know.
missed it. We didn't tour
We didn't
it,
get to go
but
inside though, sadly.
I've
it was
been
the first step.
too many more times than any person should go to map, but we'll ask. Hey, you
cool.
never know. Maybe we could work on that for Woodward 23. Yeah. Then someone else said map tour would be awesome. Let's get some kayakers. Yes, kayakers. Laura, we actually have
Yes.
a kayaker on staff.
Mhm.
She's competing in the 2028 Summer Olympics in kayaking. I'm kidding. But no, Laura, she'll put together a kayaking event, won't you, Laura?
Yeah, I want to. What state? Where are we going? Let's do a tour.
Okay, guys, sound off. Where should Laura do her kayaking event? We can have an ugly
Kayak
Bronco sweater
capital.
contest. You know what? Instead of us making one, how about you guys make them, and we'll do a contest. And whoever has the ugliest sweater, will send you something.
I want someone
Maybe
to
our next
knit
one
one
contest.
for their
We'll
Bronco.
wear your
like
sweater.
The tea cozies.
Got any knitters out there? Ooh, they
Yeah,
can make
just
our
do a
staff
giant
uniform, like our staff Christmas
Bronco.
card. We
Mhm.
should all wear them in our staff Christmas card. There you go, an idea. Will Off-Rodeo be moving around and spreading out in locations in the coming year? We have no announcement at this time. Odds on how many people entered Jeep sweatshirts? We didn't get any in the last contest, so we're hoping to keep that streak alive. Bronco Dude said he loved that contest. Maybe we could do a tour or a trail off-road vehicle park in each member state. That's a lot of states. That is all 50 states plus Guam,
Canada.
Puerto Rico, and soon to be
Or Hawaii.
overseas. So I'll take the Hawaii and Guam. I'm the closest. Down the Mississippi. Okay. Michigan kayaking event, Laura. Bronco Dude says
All right.
Michigan. Okay.
Let's
North
do it.
Carolina, down the Mississippi, and Michigan. Those are the three you got. Okay. Cool. Next, SEMA. We are going to SEMA for the... Is this the second or the third year in a row?
It's my second.
I think it's the third though.
Must be my
think you
third
went-
or fourth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not going. We're not having a booth this year. As everyone knows, Ford decided to next SEMA. So we are not having a booth, but Laura and I are going to be there as attendees, as media, walking around covering it for you guys, bringing you all things SEMA. So if you're able to go, phenomenal. We'd love to see you. If you're not able to go, rest assured that we will bring you each and every Bronco that is at SEMA. That's part of the reason we were just in LA is we're Ralph Holguin of RMD Garage is building a insane Bronco build for SEMA. So we're capturing that. So stay tuned for more content on that. But SEMA's just under 2 weeks away. So Laura and I are going to be out there doing all things Bronco. We're also working on a meetup while we're out in Vegas. You guys have been asking for literally months to do a Bronco Nation meetup in SEMA or in Vegas. So we're going to work on one of those during SEMA. More details to come. But we've heard you, and we're going to try and make that work. Laura, what are you most excited about for SEMA this year?
I think it's really cool that one of our members worked on the all women's build. So
Yes.
I'm curious to see what that looks like. I hope there's more aftermarket parks. Like last
Yeah.
year, we were a little bit low on choices.
Mhm.
So hopefully this year, I want to see more bumpers. I've never been sold on a bumper yet.
Neither have
Um,
I.
Yeah, so hopefully, fingers crossed. And then I just want to see what wild stuff comes up, the good, the bad. We're gonna see it all. You see it all at
Yep.
SEMA. So there's gonna be some good stuff, I'm sure. We had 92, 93 Broncos that we tallied
Yeah, I
last
was
year.
gonna say over
Um,
under on that for this year.
Yeah, so I'll be curious to see
Over.
how many are entered this year. And the meetup,
Yeah, I think
I want to do that.
yes. And I think the biggest thing, well, one of the big things for me is as we continue to expand our parts and accessories offerings, we want to bring you guys stuff that you're interested in. So if there's any niche of parts like, hey, we really want to see new bumper options from you guys, or hey, we really want to see, storage solutions, let us know. Shoot us a message and we'll be on the lookout. A lot of what I'm going to be doing there is talking to new partners, talking to new accessory producers, parts producers to see, okay, what do they have? What do they bring into the industry that we could offer to you guys at a discount? So if there's anything specifically, let us know. We're going to be walking the whole show. It's massive if you haven't been, and getting the ins and outs of the Bronco world. So we're super excited and hope to come away with a lot of new offerings for you guys. If you guys have any other, is SEMA in Vegas again? Yes, I think SEMA's always in Vegas. That's probably the only place that can accommodate that many people with the conventions that are that large. And it gives us an excuse to go to Vegas. So there's that. If you guys have any other questions, let us know in the YouTube super chat. We're going to get wrapped up here in just a sec. So if you have any final burning questions, drop them in. As London and myself and all of us have mentioned, parts are still available on our site. So if you're looking to accessorize your Bronco, you can head over to thebronconation.com, click the gear store, click the vehicle accessories tab, and shop Rome, Heretic, Trail Rack, Swagside Engineering, 1552. As of current, all at member discount, and many more parts to come. If you have not already, make sure you are liked, have commented, and subscribed to the Bronco Nation YouTube channel. It really helps us out. And if you have not, go watch the Iceland video that we dropped a few weeks ago. Super proud of that one. And if you don't know what they were talking about earlier in the chat, that is why Iceland keeps coming up. If you want to shop any merch, you can also go to the gear store, buy merch there. There's a couple flannels left. We also have our Gear for Good shirt, which is going to breast cancer research during the month of October. So 100% of all proceeds from the Gear for Good shirt will go to breast cancer research in partnership with Ford. So we're super excited about that and very thankful to all of you who have purchased shirts. And you can trust that 100% of your proceeds are going to a very good cause. Anything else from the team? Guys, any last words? Anything to add?
No.
No?
Covered a lot.
Not all at once, guys. Okay.
No,
well, thank
I
you all
just
so
wanted
much
to
for...
say,
Yeah, go ahead.
thankful for each and every one of you that are watching and that are our members that come to meetups because, like Jordan was saying earlier with our partners, it's always the people that make this so fantastic. And I just love that we have this community where we can share something that we like together.
And yeah, like that's what we're here for, is the community part of it, right? And we try to give you the tools to facilitate that, and so we want to continue to encourage that. Like, go to events, go to meetups, like meet other Bronco owners and learn how to off-road, even though you may not be familiar with it. I've never off-roaded.
Yep.
I have. That's our running joke. But yeah, we've head over to our website, get familiar with everything that we have to offer. And even beyond Bronco Nation, just get connected and get out there.
Meet people, enjoy your Bronco, build community. That's what it's all about. Technical disaster, Alicia. It is extremely important that you have amber Heretic fog lights. Absolutely crucial. A Bronco is not the same without them. So Alicia, if you can hear me, you have to buy the Heretic amber fog lights. I promise you, you will not regret it. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone, as Laura said, for joining. Really appreciate it. Great talking to you as always. As you've noticed, we're getting in a better rhythm of doing these more often, and we can't wait to talk to you again very soon. Thank you to Matt, Laura, and London for joining us. Thank you to all of you at home. Big shout out and thank you to our producer, Jason, who makes all of this possible. Thank you guys for joining us. Can't wait to see you next time. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you out on the trails. Bye, guys.
Bye.